With AI, we also have a whole new language. Agents, machine learning, large language models, you're familiar with the language. But when you get under the hood, when you look at the mechanics of it, actually it all starts to seem very familiar. So if we take the example of agents, in essence, they are task automation, and conceptually not so different from one point of view from macros that we use to create. And agent orchestration, well, orchestration is a standard term in the field of integrations where we connect things together in some sort of logical order. Well, agent orchestration literally is that. It is a task being completed as part of a process or workflow, and then connects or integrates with another agent that completes another part of a process or workflow, and so on. So although the terminology is new, we don't really want to be bamboozled by new terminology. We want to get under the hood and understand what's going on. And under the hood, what's going on is actually quite familiar. Sometimes we need to describe in easily relatable terms how the technology side of AI is set up. Now, the engine driver analogy or client server analogy is really useful, even though client server is a terminology that's a little bit out of fashion because we are now in the age of cloud. However, it still is applicable and very useful. So let's take, for example, SAP's implementation of AI. In essence, it sits, the engine bit, the server bit, sits in a space called BTP, which is a platform as a service. And then the client side, the driver side, is activated in particular areas. So for example, with finance, you'll have accounts receivable, accounts payable, cost accounting, profit accounting, margin analysis, group reporting, and so on. AI will be activated in those areas. So it's a very useful, quick way of describing the architecture, and it can be easily extended to include middleware and MCP servers and similar. Getting value out of AI, we need to remember, and the age-old principles of change management and transformation still apply. And the essence of change management, successful change management, is understanding your processes and workflows. And this is particularly important when it comes to agents, because agents will automate particular tasks within that workflow, and agent orchestration is connecting tasks in a logical order that will complete a process or a workflow. So along with prompt engineering, understanding, or the business understanding its processes and workflows is critical in maximizing value. We can look at use cases from two points of view. So you can look at a problem that needs a solution, or we can look at it as a solution looking for a problem. Now, this applies to agents and the models that are used to construct or design or configure agents. So the business has to understand the use case that it wants the AI agent to target, but at the same time, the business needs to understand the capabilities of the models in order to understand what problems they can target. Now, this becomes evident when you start working your way around, playing around with platforms such as Microsoft's AI Foundry, where I think they have more than 1,900 models, and each of those can be used to configure an agent. And understanding the differences between those models is going to go a long way to helping ensure ROI and value from your AI implementation. And let's not forget that the AI implementation is costly in terms of system integrators, swarms of consultants in-house, continuous licensing costs, and so on.